if someone asked me on the spot, like, what 3 things are in your genius zone, I would struggle answering that, right? Like, it's even that journey of figuring out what that is, and what, what is it that you work on that, when you look up and look at the clock, like an hour has passed, right? That you feel like you're getting in the flow and stuff. And I remember that back in the beginning of 2017, I was very close to a burnout. I've never been that tired. Like, for me, the breaking point was that Jeroen would come home with some flowers to kind of surprise me, and I could look at him and just think, now I have to get up and put those things in a vase. Like, that was like my first thought. And that, when I realized that was just the straw that broke the camel's back, I think is the expression. Now, one of the things I did is, so I had a mentor then as well. And so spoke with her, and she was like, so what do you need right now? And I'm like, I just need some time. And she's like, okay, so you want to take some time off? And I had this breakthrough idea of taking 5 Fridays off. Okay, so this was me taking a break at that time, which I was over the moon with, by the way. But one of the tasks I did to begin with was, for a week, I've started to write down every single task that was involved in my job. And then I started to split them between things that need to happen, but that I don't enjoy, and things that need to happen, but that I do enjoy. And when I came back after those, 5 short weeks, I made a very strong commitment to myself that every day, and this was only a short period of time, because when I tell this to people, they go, a lot of work. And I'm like, you don't have to do this for a long time, but it just gives you so many insights that you don't even have to do this. But I just made the conscious decision every day to make sure I would pick things of both lists. Right. So if I had to create a budget that would normally take me 2 full days, that's not something that I get energy from. Not to say I'm not good at it, but it doesn't give me anything. Right. So rather than spending 2 full days on it being miserable, I would spend 4 mornings on it and make sure that in the afternoon I do things that I get energy from. Right. And again, that's such a simple exercise that just by doing that for a few days and writing down those lists and identifying for yourself, this task, am I doing that because is this giving me energy, or is it just a necessity? And I think that just was so insightful for me that, still now, every now and then, I just think, let's just write it all down. It's basically my to-do list, and see what comes up for me. And again, like something I definitely recommend people to do if you feel like work is tiring you out.
Like, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received for being an effective leader? Like, for you?
I don't have the exact maybe piece of advice ready there for you, but I think understanding that, when I learned about things like servant leadership and heart-centered leadership and things like that, you can be a leader, and all the skills you've just mentioned around empathy and communication and things, like embracing who you are, and that you can be a leader just by being yourself. And even if you're not even, you haven't started your career yet and you're a student, you're also a leader, right? Because you walk around with a set of values and, an idea and a vision. And like you said, there are people who are more driven to make a change than others, but that in itself, you're a leader, and you're the leader of your own life, and you're the writer of your own book. And understanding that there's, in this world, is room for everyone to be their own type of leader, as long as you're authentic. And I think even what you were just describing about your job, and maybe this is more true for women than it is for men, but we're so used to trying to operate in a certain box, or in a certain context, or in a certain society, where we tend to do what we think people expect of us. And I think, normally you just know when you meet people, it's like, oh, this is, she's authentic, or she isn't. And, she's doing this for all the right reasons. And she's, but I think
be the leader that you are. Be the leader that you naturally are.
Of authenticity and vulnerability is incredibly important. And I think I've always done that. But like you said, just because I thought everyone was doing it and it was part of my personality. And I think as soon as I started to understand that that's actually a responsibility I have as a leader and working with a team, that, I think I owe people to be authentic, and I owe it to people to be vulnerable, because that's how you connect. That's how you collaborate. That's how you kind of role model the behavior I'd like to see from people as well. And I think healthy behavior, right? So yeah, it's for me, it's really around that authenticity and vulnerability in leadership, and that journey of figuring out what type of leader you are and you were meant to be.